Hello everybody, my name is X Factor, and I apologize for not making this video sooner. I probably should have made it well over a week or so ago, but I was trying to see how things would unfold. Ubisoft has a massive problem on their hands, and it's twofold. It affects both Rainbow Six Siege and their Division, and also has to do with the stance in which Ubisoft handles things when it comes to cheaters that are prevalent in both the Division and Rainbow Six Siege right now. But before we go further, let me explain the footage in the background. There's going to be a couple instances of me killing some rogues, going rogue with actually people I got involved with gunfights in this server, and having a little bit of fun. And you're probably asking yourself, what are my stats? Well, the most important thing is armor. I am running 65% max. I do have the chest piece, which increases my damage by 10% as my body breaks in half. 88,000 health, 190k DPS with my MP5, 170 with my Black Market AK, which does heal me for 3% in the crit damage. And when I pulse, it's even more. And later in the footage, I run with some guys that I usually play with who are geared out even more compared to me, including a monster support gear build with electronics, which the heals are absolutely insane. Added damage done and damage mitigation. So let's go back in time. I used to be a competitive player. I played for the winningest team in North America history. The team I played for pretty much won everything in 2142, including a World Cup in Bad Company 2, beating out all the Europeans, and a ton of stuff in Battlefield 3, as the hand cannon comes back for a quick little outing. But we had to go to great lengths. Whenever we played in a league, match, or tournament, we had to record our footage from our perspective, and we had to provide that footage if it came into question from another team or an admin of the tournament, league, or whatever was going on. And even though that was required because the anti-cheat in 2142, Bad Company 2, and Battlefield 3, Punkbuster was so bad, people still got caught cheating in tournaments. But usually they'd knock a team or two out before they got caught and the damage was done. Sometimes those teams were allowed to play matches, sometimes it was just too bad. It actually affected the way tournaments played out. Some no-name team would come, some guys that you'd never seen on the battlefield, and they'd just start wrecking house. Of course, they'd get caught, but again, they knock out a team or two. And then Battlefield 4 came around, and Fair Fight was here. And you have to remember, when we're talking about Fair Fight as an anti-cheat, there's two different things going on. Number one, it's not a light switch that just gets thrown on. It's something that has to be coded on multiple levels. And the Battlefield 4 team even just recently added more goodies for Fair Fight to be able to utilize back a couple months ago. That's right, the game's been out almost 2.5 years, and they're still tweaking it. The anti-cheat's so good when it comes to Fair Fight in Battlefield that we'd see a cheater once a month, twice a month maybe, and then more than likely you'd see the global ban pop off in a couple hours or a couple days. And EA's stance was this: you get caught once, it's a full stat reset, and you've got a week off. You get caught again, it's permaban. And in some instances, it was straight permaban. So EA was pretty hard. And again, this was a game where it was mostly pubs. There wasn't a lot of tournaments in Battlefield 4 like there were in Battlefield 3 and Bad Company 2 and 2142, where there used to be $20, $30, $40, $50,000 tournaments. In Battlefield 4, that really didn't exist as much as it did in the previous titles. So it was something that was handled pretty easily in the Battlefield community, which is good. But in the Division and Rainbow Six Siege, you don't really have that going on. Yes, Fair Fight is in Rainbow Six Siege, but it's probably not being utilized or up all the way. And the other thing is, it's up to Ubisoft to set the parameters in which people do get suspended and banned. So, in the competitive world with Rainbow Six Siege, there was quite the kick-up a while back because some high-level players were accused of using some third-party visual aids. It just looked super sketchy. The guy could run the stuff on his phone. He could run it on another computer, not even the same computer. Slowly adjust his aim, bang a guy out through a wall, or make a call of a guy 2 or 3 rooms over that you can't see and you definitely can't hear in Rainbow Six Siege, or somebody silent dropping or something like that. Just a bunch of nonsense. So that's kind of odd, ESL and Ubisoft and what their stance is. But right now, here's their stance when it comes to the Division. First time offense, if you get caught, it's a 3-day suspension, and there is no stat reset. Are you kidding me?
Well, that's how you do that.
You're not going to reset somebody's stats when they're more than likely teleporting around, using a damage modifier. Maybe they modify their armor, so they've got like 85%, 90% armor. So they're still taking a little damage, but it's not much. And I actually ran into an instance of that. The guy didn't have great DPS, but one of the guys I play with, again, he's a crazy support player with a crazy electronics build. We couldn't kill him. It's like his ult was permanently up. Your ult lasts about 15 seconds, and our fights would last well over a minute. We killed him a couple times. He killed us. Then we called him out. Then all of a sudden, he flopped over like a sack of potatoes 2 or 3 times. And again, your ult only lasts a couple seconds. As the hand cannon actually fails me. I think I was zoomed in too close due to the third-person positioning there. So he flops over like a sack of potatoes a couple times, like he should, going against 2 geared guys that have got insane heals on one and insane DPS on the other. Both guys running 65%. But in the process, we lost XP every time we died. And I can't tell you how many times I've been running with a 4-man group, because we go rogue and then we go manhunt just to survive the manhunt to gain massive chunks of XP. Well, there's been several times where somebody TP'd to us, actually teleported to us, or just simply shot us through walls with an SMG with 1 bullet. And no, I'm not talking about the M1A, where somebody uses the explosive round, or the M44, which somebody uses the explosive round, which can one-shot you, or 2 guys at the same time, depending on where the round hits. And that is more than likely a balance issue that Ubisoft is going to take care of, hopefully, because it really dictates the pace of PvP encounters too much. If somebody's got a high damage M1A or M44, pop explosive rounds can easily kill your entire group in just a couple shots, which shouldn't be the case. So we've seen tons of people on live stream actually teleporting around. The other day, we were playing in a group, about 10 guys from the server clump up because we're trying to kill this guy, and he'd fly in, shoot, you'd hear 1 round go off of an SMG, can't remember which one he was using, maybe it was the AUG, and then all of a sudden he'd fly out, you'd turn around, a guy's dead. He wouldn't kill him once he was down, he'd just leave him down so you'd revive him. But in the Division, it's all about your experience, because you lose a lot when you die, especially when you're going rogue or manhunt to actually gain XP, because with the group I run with, we can survive 95% of them, which gives us 10 to 15,000 XP, and that's a huge chunk, which is nice. But if somebody's in there TPing to you or shooting you through walls, you're going to lose 20,000 XP. It's pretty counterproductive. So again, it's about high ends, it's about extracting your stuff, it's about Division tech. So these guys that are going around one-shotting or just modifying their armor or their weapons are getting all this experience. They're taking away experience. They get a 3-day suspension. Are you freaking kidding me, Ubisoft? You are simply too soft. Okay, next one's permaban. That's great. How about a week off? How about a complete stats reset? How about you do the same thing in Rainbow Six Siege? Right now, the other part of the problem is Ubisoft is simply too soft. You're basically allowing people to justify using this as an advantage, gear up their guy, get their guy up levels, and away you go. Again, the controversy surrounding Rainbow Six Siege, there was a lot of money at stake. It was an offline tournament, which is also a mistake in my opinion. If you're going to throw that kind of money on the table, make sure it's on LAN. But ESL should have been smart enough to require everybody to record, which more than likely would have sorted this stuff out. You can hear what the player's hearing, you can see what the player's seeing, and if those callouts simply don't make sense and there is no drone or no spot going on, well, you got yourself using somebody using visual aids. It's rampant in CS, but at least CS is trying to do things with Overwatch and, of course, VAC, which is a really, really bad anti-cheat. I'm a firm believer in fair fight. It's done amazing things for Battlefield 4, but Ubisoft simply didn't think this was going to be a big problem because their anti-cheat seems to be non-existent. Who knows if fair fight's even in the Division, and it seems to be under-effective or underwhelming in Rainbow Six Siege right now. And again, more than likely that has to do with them still continuing to develop the relationship between Fair Fight, Rainbow Six Siege, and the coding that needs to take place. So here's what I think Ubisoft really needs to do. They actually need to do something when it comes to the relationship between the community and what's going on with the anti-cheat right now. They need to really step up their game. They also need to start handing out weak suspensions and complete stat resets. And for us to police the community, for those of you playing competitive in Rainbow Six Siege, there needs to be a way to look up players. If they've already been suspended or had a stats reset, that account needs to be indicated. There needs to be a way for that community to police their own. And in the Division, if somebody's already had a suspension, that needs to be indicated as well. For those of you trying to play competitive in Rainbow Six Siege, playing with ESL, I know they set the governing rules. I know they have this independent anti-cheat, but it's pretty shitty. You need to start forcing players to record their own perspectives. Ubisoft needs to step up their game. Ubisoft needs to be more strict. The anti-cheat needs to drastically improve, and the community needs to rally around this. The community needs to push this. What do you guys think about the current state of these games and what needs to be done? As always, guys, thanks for watching and hanging out. We'll see you guys soon.